Check.
No check. I raise my Joe Montana on card Kansas City Chiefs.
I call Peyton Manning on card auto.
Wow.
The river.
Hanging around. This kid's got alligator blood. I'm going all in with my Mike Trout 2011 finest rookie.
I call my Scottie Pippen auto and my Vladimir Guerrero Jr. rookie card auto.
What do you got?
Oh, I got you, Trey. I got you. 3 queens.
Boat. Jacks over 8s. Poker is a very popular game. So is the game of dominoes. Played in Hollywood backlots, music studios, and at sporting events and locker rooms all over the world. In fact, in wrestling, back in the 90s, Hall of Famers Yokozuna and the Undertaker started the BSK, the Bone Street Krew. Now, guys that love the wrestling business, and get this, guys that love the game of dominoes. So here are some of the members: Henry Godwin, Mr. Fuji, Brian Adams, Mideon, Paul Bearer, Savio Vega there at the end, Rikishi, and the Godfather. We're gonna meet up with Domino champion Travis Newsom. He's gonna give us a little bit on the inside of the game, also some strategy to dominate in dominoes. He's also gonna tell us a little bit about himself. So join me, episode 3, Show Me Your Collection, starts now. I'm here with Domino champion Travis Newsom. I gotta ask, these are amazing looking bones. What's the story behind this?
You know, I've owned those for about 35 years, maybe a little bit more than 35 years. And I bought them, they cost like $400. And when my wife just actually discovered them, you know, just a few years ago, and she said, these look really expensive.
Yeah.
I paid for them. And I told her $400, and she started screaming at me. And then when she found out they were worth $2,000 now, she stopped screaming. But when I wake up every day, I have to go and look and see if they're still there.
Yes.
So I think she may sell them.
Yeah, so a solid investment.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So you grew up in Texas.
I grew up in a small town in Texas, Chapel Hill, Texas.
Chapel Hill.
That I had only about 300 people at the time. That's about an hour west of Houston.
Okay.
And it's about only 300 people at the time. And I went to high school like 10 miles away in Brigham, Texas. This is where I graduated from high school. And
then you got into athletics.
When I went to Brigham High School, which incidentally was the reason I went to Brigham, I had a choice at that time. This was, way back, man, during the Civil Rights era, when the big Civil Rights Bill had been signed in 1964. And I decided that next year that I had a choice of going to what was the all-black school or then what was the all-white school. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that at the all-white school that they got fantastic coverage on their sports teams versus what was being given to the black schools. I said, my God, if I want to get a scholarship, look, I had to get a scholarship to go to college. My parents didn't have a checking account, let alone a savings account. And I knew I had to get a scholarship to go to college. So I said, if I want to get a scholarship, I got to go where I can get some maximum exposure. So I became one of the athletes and one of the persons to help integrate my high school.
Wow.
Back during.
So even at that young age, you had the bigger picture, like where it's going to get me to the next level.
Absolutely. And so that's what I did. I went to high school and played football, and basketball, baseball, and track.
You lettered in.
I had 4 letters in track.
Wow.
3 letters in football, 3 letters in baseball, and 1 letter in basketball.
Wow. And that took you, that road led you to what university?
Oklahoma, Sooner, man.
Oh,
man. They got
Sooner.
Yeah, that's a big Sooner game today. But that's how I got to school there. But really, the truth is, that didn't really get me to Oklahoma. And in my story about how I got to Oklahoma, it's miraculous. My high school teammate was the best in the country there in Texas. Everybody wanted him. I didn't have one single school that was interested in me. As a matter of fact, he got hundreds of letters. Guess how many letters I got?
How many letters did you get?
I got a -1 letter.
Wow, -1.
-1 letter. And how do you get a -1 letter? Well, that Christmas, I had been in Kansas City visiting my brothers in Kansas City. My brother drove me down to talk to Bob Timmons, the track coach at Kansas.
Yeah.
And Coach
KU.
KU.
Yeah.
And Coach Timmons said to me, well, we know you had a good junior year. This was between my Christmas of my high school year.
Yeah.
He said, we know you had a good junior year. We'll see how well you do on your senior year. We may be interested in recruiting you. As fate will have it, I did not have a fantastic senior year in track and field.
Okay.
So I contacted KU. Are you still interested in this?
Yeah.
And they actually sent me a letter back saying, well, we're not going to be able to recruit you because we have people here in the state that are comparable times as you do, so we're not going to recruit you.
Right.
I call that my -1 letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. But listen to this. So the Oklahoma coach was interested in my teammate. And my high school coach said to him, I got this guy Travis here. I believe that if he didn't play football and basketball and baseball, that if he just focused on track, I think he could be good. You should give him a try. So the coach of Oklahoma invited both of us to come on a visit and offered both of us. He offered John a full scholarship and a stipend, which I mean, he was going to get that no matter where he went.
Right.
But I'm a Christian, so I like to talk about 1 Corinthians and 2 and 9, where it says, "I have not seen, ear has not heard, nor has it entered to the heart of man what God has in store for him that love him." That was my reality when the Oklahoma coach said to me, "We're going to give you a full scholarship plus a stipend as well."
Wow.
And I'm just trying. Look, that was amazing. So of course I was excited to get that, and so we got to school that fall and had a fantastic freshman year, fantastic sophomore year, made the varsity track team, and my junior year at Oklahoma, it was the Big 8 then. When I was in school, it was not
what it is now.
12, no,
Yeah.
it was the Big 8 then. So at the end of my junior year at the Big 8 conference meet, I set the school record in 2 events.
Wow.
And which was awesome. I graduated a year later from Oklahoma with a degree in finance, and I didn't owe them a dime. And I had 2 school records that I took with me.
Wow. Now I have a quick question.
That was just awesome. Yes.
When you were doing the track, what shoes were you wearing? What was the brand that was your?
I mean, we weren't. It was not quite like it is now.
Yeah.
I think I mostly had Adidas.
Adidas? Okay.
Adidas.
So he's an Adidas guy.
Adidas.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's what I didn't have people. No one gave me shoes.
Yeah.
Trying to have
Not like how it is today with the
no.
sponsors.
Oh,
yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
So, but that was my career at Oklahoma. But I like to tell the story about that whole situation. You heard me say that, but I'm convinced to this day that's not why I went to Oklahoma. The reason I went to Oklahoma is because of this. At the end of my junior year, after I set the record, Wheaton College, right down the street here, Wheaton College.
Illinois.
Yes. They called Oklahoma looking for a Christian athlete to go to Africa and Israel.
Wow.
As part of a Christian athletic team that was going to compete in Africa and Israel. And my coaches knew that I was a Christian, so they asked me if I wanted to go. Now again, this is in '72, the same year as the Olympics in Munich. And I'm all excited because, hey, anybody's running track, if you're halfway decent, okay, maybe I can go to the Olympics.
Right, the trials.
Yes, I had my mind set on that. I qualified for the Olympic trials in my event, the quarter mile. But then I had the choice of, okay, do I want to go on this trip, this Christian athletic trip to Africa and Israel, or do I want to try for the Olympics? And I made the decision going on the trip. So why did I get a full scholarship to go there? The good Lord knew at that time, my senior year in high school, that Wheaton College was going to call Oklahoma 3 years later and say, hey, we need a guy to go on this trip.
Wow.
And I figured that's why I went on that's why I had a chance to go on that trip to Africa and Israel. So really, my high school teammate and the coaches, they were just help facilitate it.
Wow.
But I think it was still work of the good Lord. But I always tell people that it seems like, I think the Lord has a sense of humor. Because if the Oklahoma coach would have offered me books, room and board,
right,
I would have grabbed that.
Right.
Nobody had offered me anything. I got a -1 letter, so I would have gotten that.
Right.
But the reason I said I think the good Lord has a sense of humor is because he said, I got to make sure that Travis is here when Wheaton College calls 3 years later to go on this trip to witness for me in Africa and Israel. So I can't take a chance on him being here just on room and board and books.
Right.
I got to give him the full scholarship so I can make sure that he's going to be here when Wheaton College calls.
That's incredible.
And that's why I think I got the scholarship. That's why I'm convinced that I got the scholarship.
Wow. So when do you think you discovered, can you remember when you discovered the game of dominoes?
It's funny because 1962 is when I discovered the game of dominoes in June of 1962. And it's when I started playing dominoes.
Wow. Do you remember who introduced you? Like,
my
remember?
My parents.
Your parents,
my
okay.
Parents, my mother and father introduced us to the game, and you know, we didn't have Xbox. And,
Right. Yeah. You didn't have the apps.
No. We actually made up our own
Smartphones.
baseballs. We made up our own bats and gloves and stuff like that. So we started playing dominoes, and that's how I started playing in 1962. It's funny because in the South, in Texas in particular, they thought playing cards was sinful. So they said, okay, well, dominoes is less sinful, so we're going to teach kids how to play dominoes.
Yeah.
That's how I got started in 1962.
Wow. Now I met Travis in Kansas City. Missouri. When did you migrate to Kansas City?
Well, after I graduated from Oklahoma in 1973, the plan was for me to go to Kansas City and go into real estate business with my family. And that's exactly what I did in 1973. And I did real estate for the next 30 years, the next 40 years.
Oh, wow, okay. Brothers, they were synonymous with dominoes, and I was like, I have to meet these guys, you know? So, I mean, that's where I met you in Kansas City. Now, you started winning championships. Can you tell us a little bit about your domino career and your path to the World Championship?
Won the first World Championship and became the first African American winner World Championship that year. What I remember though was my brother Robert, who you know.
Yes.
You met Robert.
Yes.
On June 8th, 1988, which was a month before we got to go to Alabama.
Yeah.
He was shot 4 times.
Wow.
And on his way out of surgery, in the recovery room, he asked his doctor, will I be able to travel in 4 weeks? So the doctor said, hey, dude, you've been shot like 4 times. I don't think you're going to be going anywhere in 4 weeks.
Right. Let alone a domino tournament.
Well, no, the doctor didn't know what it was about.
Yeah.
But he didn't know Robert. And he didn't know who Robert served. But as fate will have it, Robert was able to go to Alabama on July 7th. And it was his will and desire and motivation and strength that got him there and so I actually dedicated that win to him.
Wow.
And he was my
He's your inspiration.
he was my inspiration.
Yeah. That was the first of many championships. You were give me the number. What is it?
Well, no, I wouldn't say many championships,
Yeah.
but I did win 2 more championships.
2 more championships.
But what I'm most proud of is the fact that I didn't want to be, I was the first one, but I certainly didn't want to be the last one.
Yeah.
So what I'm most proud of is that Kansas City became the home of more domino championships than any other city in the country, and to this day, it still has more championships than any other city in the country.
Wow.
Kansas City has 28 world championships.
Yeah.
Because I have 3, and Jerome has I think 6.
Yeah.
And then there are other guys, so Kansas City became synonymous with championships.
Yeah.
And 28 championships, and then there are at least 3 consolation championships.
Yeah.
So-
The doubles. There was a lot of doubles championships in there as well.
Yeah, a lot of doubles championships in there. Jerome, I know, had 2. My brother Robert had 2. I
Yeah.
had 1, and several other guys.
Really quick, I want to give a shout out to one of my domino mentors, Wayne Morrow. He's no longer with us, but just being with him, being with Travis, being with Jerome, just to name a few, Robert, your brother, put me on the fast track to really improve my game. And it was really like a community that would just help one another out. Like Jerome Wooten, he would just pummel me to a pulp, right? But he would show me why he was doing it or how he was doing it. So, I mean, that's one thing that I really appreciate, like in my time playing with these champions in Kansas City, that they really just took me under their wing. And you, I mean, you give lessons in school and
Yeah, and one of the things that I was not interested in being the only champion from Kansas City. So I introduced a lot of other people to the World Championship tournament, and as well as even in the high schools, I taught dominoes in my 5 different districts in Kansas City, and I'm still proud to say from that I've gotten had 2 championships in the early years. In the past few years, 4 more championships from children, and 2 which include 2 championships from team. Darnell Benton, I don't know if you're familiar.
I am familiar with some of the stuff that has been posted on social media.
He won twice in the children's division and twice in the teen division. But he was one of my students from when he was 9 years old. And that's what I actually really enjoyed teaching the kids, because it was about more than a game. My program is called Dominoes, More Than a Game, Making Good Decisions.
Yeah.
Because as you know, what you do on this play is going to impact what's going to happen on the play down the road. And I like telling that to the kids. I say, listen, what you do today is going to, and the decisions you make today is going to have an impact on what's going to happen to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to you in the future.
And that's so amazing with Travis, with the programs he is. He's not just teaching them a skill, dominoes, but he's also teaching them tools for life. And I think that's just an incredible thing that you do.
And as you know, when we talk about probability analysis, logical reasoning, deductive reasoning, which is really important. But then, as you know, discipline, having the discipline to do what you know you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And just in life, so often we're confronted with situations where we can make a good decision or a bad decision. But having that discipline is what we really focus on. We really do.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, for you watching right now, if you're looking to get lessons or learn more about dominoes, you have your own website.
It's TravisNewsome.com.
TravisNewsome.com.
Right there.
Okay.
But the good news is that they can be able to buy my book on Amazon within the next couple of weeks.
That's coming out.
Yes.
Okay. What's the title of the book?
The domino book is actually Domino.
It's a strategy.
But the title of the book is Playing Dominoes Like a Champion. It's the title of the book, and
nice.
Some really key strategies I have in the book on some of the simple things that are things people don't even think about in the game. There are strategies, and especially when I'm teaching a class.
Yeah.
People will say, "I've never thought about that. I've never even considered that."
Yeah.
So, and those will be some of the strategies that's in the book as well.
We're looking forward to that. Now we're going to show me the automatic block, because I know that's one of the tools that I picked up when I was in Kansas City is how to block a hand, because I was more focused on scoring points stopping my opponents from scoring, but I never knew the science, like the sweet science, let's say, like boxing, they call it the sweet science. Dominoes, there's a sweet science where you could actually dominate a hand where it's unguardable. So we're gonna look at one of them.
The automatic domino.
The automatic. This is my favorite. The automatic block.
This is so sweet.
Yeah.
And so often people don't even know that they have this. We're gonna use the automatic block with the blank ace. We'll do the blank ace automatic block, which is the one that's really sweet.
Is that the one? Is that the money making one?
Yeah. Here it is. Here. It's in here. And let's take this right here along with it because we're playing with 9, and this one along with it.
Okay. So those are Travis's 9
These are my
dominoes.
9,
Now, would you say that the 9-bone is the Cadillac of the domino games?
Yes.
Yes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So here we go.
So I'm gonna say these are my 9 for now, okay? If you see, I got a variety of blanks, 3s, just have 1 5. So I'm hoping to score with that one.
Okay, and I'm gonna start with this one right here.
You start with double 1s. I don't have any. So assuming these are turned over, I'm just gonna draw, right? I'm gonna find this, take 5 for what it's worth.
Yeah. And I'm gonna play this right here.
So I have a lot of blanks. So I'm gonna go drop off my double blank.
And I'm gonna put this back on again.
So I don't have any 1, so I go back in the boneyard. So I find the 5. I'm looking to capitalize on the 5, so I'm gonna put it on this end.
And I'm gonna put this right there.
Okay, so he hit me with those again. So I'm gonna take nothing. Now really quick, before you play, do you see sometimes people making the mistake, oh, I gotta drop double deuce?
Right.
They don't look at the big picture.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, what I tell people all the time,
Don't even look at those.
Just get these out of your way because you don't want to accidentally be tempted or make a mistake. So I'm gonna play this right here.
So he put all the 1s out, so I'm drawing. So I get my 1-6, put it right there.
And I'll play that.
And at this point, I see the grim reality of what's about to happen to me, and it's looking bad. So
he does that, and then I do the automatic.
Yeah.
But look at this again. It's very important.
Yeah.
I played this because I'll have this would have been part of my hand, and I don't want to take a chance on playing.
Right.
I just push it to the side.
Put that to the side.
Right there. And then I'll do this right here. Push all these to the side like this. Right here. And all that money is mine.
And all that goes to him. So that's one of
100 points.
Yeah. And that could work with any variation. It could be 0 blank 3, 6 2.
To play the block, you just gotta recognize it when you first see it. And sometimes what'll happen is, and I bet you've done this, where you actually backed into it. You didn't even know you had it.
Yes. But I've also ruined hands. Like for example, if I've had a bunch of 5s, I've also ruined it. Like there's a way you could actually ruin a good hand.
Yes.
Let's say you have 6 of these, right? And you have let's say the blank deuce, the double 4 or something. I don't know. Let's see. Is that you have one more? Let's give you one more. Let's assume you have all the 5s. Okay. And you just come out with big 5, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people mess this up as well.
That's true.
Like now, what would you play here?
I would play the blank 5.
I think I'd play the blank 5 as well.
Yeah.
The mistake people make though is they come out with the big 5, not knowing that now I have all this out of the boneyard. So now I have all this knowledge that I know what he's got and know what bones he's trying to get rid of. So I could tee off on him.
The 5 is the most dangerous suit in the game.
Yeah.
And when I'm teaching my elementary school kids, we talk about the love dominoes.
Yeah.
And here are the love dominoes.
Yeah.
The double 5 and the blank 5.
Yeah.
But they're also the snake dominoes.
Yeah.
When you have them, you're in love with them.
Yeah.
But if you don't have them, they're snakes to you because they can bite you.
Yes.
They can hurt you.
Yeah.
So, but they're the love bones when you have them, snake bones when you don't.
Yeah.
And I actually have a video online that talks about winning and losing with 5s.
Yeah.
You could have this right here.
Yeah.
You could have 4 5s and lose the game with
Right.
4 5s because
they get misplayed the most.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They get misplaced so often.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing too that I know. If you're ever playing head up live tournaments or whatever, when people wash them, You always want to recut them, correct,
Yeah,
Travis?
Always, you always. Want to cut
Yeah.
You always want to cut.
So what I mean by that is, let's say we're playing head up, me and you, and let's say I wash them. See, I may already know how to manipulate the hands that I just turned over. So if
then I'll take them and I'll do this.
you definitely have to do that.
You gotta do it. It was in college, you know, that's when my game really excelled. And I taught, I forgot to mention that I taught a domino class at Oklahoma.
While you were a student?
While I was a student, I created this class called Domino Theory and Strategy.
Yeah.
In the extracurricular program in Oklahoma, I taught that Domino Theory and Strategy.
Yeah.
And when I got to Kansas City, I was kind of like considered the best domino player there in Kansas City when I got there. But later on to learn that Wayne was better than me.
Yeah.
And then Jerome was better than both of us.
Yeah.
So, but hey, listen, you recall the year that we had our league going on.
Yeah.
You finished in third place.
Finished in third place.
I was really disappointed that you were ahead of me.
Yeah. But I couldn't have done it without like learning on the fast track with those guys and yourself included. So I mean, that's a credit to you and to the guys that I mean, just to have in the community that everybody just helping each other out. So
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, bro, I really miss Wayne.
Great champion, great domino player, great guy overall. Like he took me under his wing when I got to Kansas City. I mean, he was really the one that like really gave me that like extra edge to compete with guys like you, guys like Jerome, whatever. So I mean,
But listen, I really want you to start planning now and when you put in your vacation for the first part of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, you really should go to Alabama.
Alabama, here we come. Domino 2022.
Yeah, you got to go to Alabama. I promise you won't miss it again once you go one time. Just to get in the atmosphere, all the dominoes. We play dominoes all night. And, just have a good time.
Oh, I bet it's a fun experience. Thank you so much for the time. So you also have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
So where can we find you on YouTube?
Well, just Travis Newsom.
Travis Newsom. Yeah. Again, Travis, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And I hope you've learned something from this. If you have not learned enough, need some more strategies, my book is going to be coming out on Amazon like within the next couple of weeks. So you should check it out. Or go to my website, travisnewsom.com. And if you want some private one-on-one lessons, I do that with Zoom. But hey, I love this game. This is awesome. And from the top of my heart, thank you for watching.